also been the subject of legal proceedings, a further inquiry into Terence's tragic death is not. Also note that legal proceedings arising from these matters were settled in 2014. As the Deputy will appreciate, both GSOC and the courts are fully independent in the exercise of their functions, and it is not open to me to intervene in or comment on any inquiry that has been carried out by GSOC or on the outcome of any court proceedings. As these matters have been fully considered by GSOC and have also been the subject of legal proceedings, a further inquiry into Terence's tragic death is not being considered at this time, and my department has outlined this to the Wheelock family in the response to them.
Murphy.
Thanks. Yeah, the family, I met the family yesterday, and I'd like to pay tribute to their bravery and courage for continuing to campaign for justice. But the family are not satisfied with the response. It is open to the government to initiate a public inquiry. That's a power that rests with you. In relation to the GSOC inquiry, does the Minister not think it was problematic that it was carried out, it was led by a former Garda who had worked previously, not at the time of the death, but had worked previously at the Store Street Garda station? In relation to the legal proceedings, I mean, they were civil legal proceedings where the family, as I understood, sued for negligence. So again, that has no relationship to whether a public inquiry should or should not be carried out. Let me just list some of the issues that exist in terms of the circumstances of his death. The fact that the cell was completely renovated and repainted rather than being preserved after the incident. The photos which show substantial evidence of bruising and cuts that were not on Terence's body when he was arrested and were not recorded as being there. The clothes, his clothes being heavily blood-stained, changes being made to his custody record, and significant problems in terms of time frame between the time of the supposed incident and the ambulance being called.
Thank you, Deputy. What can I say? It's another very sad situation for a family, and I note that you did mention about the cells being upgraded, which they have been. The programme of replacement and refurbishment of Garda accommodation is progressed by the Garda authorities, as you know, in close cooperation with the OPW. And I am informed by the Garda authorities that all cells have been risk assessed for ligatures, and that was one of the findings, as I understand it, that was recommended that should happen. I'm further advised that 91 cell refurbishment projects have been completed under the National Cell Refurbishment Programme since 2011, including 41 projects from the period 2016 to 2021. So those renovations have been carried out for the safety of other prisoners into the future.
The point about the cell renovation was not that cells were renovated subsequently. The cell was immediately painted and renovated before it could be investigated. That is suspicious rather than being something good. The suggestion was that with his bare hands he had tunnelled into the walls of the cell and had found an anchor point to tie the cord from his tracksuit, which he was left with, and hang himself while he was on his knees. This is very problematic. So I have two requests from the family. I think they're quite basic, personally. The first one is extremely basic, that you would meet with the family to discuss these issues and to discuss their call for a public inquiry. They can give you multiple pieces of evidence which indicate all of the problems with what happened here in terms of the circumstances of Terence's death, and also with the GSOC inquiry which followed. And the second point is the need for an independent public inquiry. That's the only way we can get to the bottom of this matter, that the family will feel that they can have justice. Otherwise, we're going to be here, we're going to be raising it again and again, and you're going to force the family to continue to struggle around this issue to try and fight for justice for Terence.
Minister.
Thank you. I want to once again express my sympathy to the family, and as I have said, Terence's tragic death was the subject of a comprehensive GSOC inquiry, which was published in 2010 and is available on the GSOC website. There was also a settlement reached in the courts, as I said earlier. As Minister for Justice, I cannot comment upon or intervene in the outcome of any GSOC inquiry, nor can I comment upon the outcome of any court proceedings. The independence of GSOC and the judiciary is a key part of our democracy, and I cannot in any way interfere with the outcomes of the previous inquiries and legal proceedings regarding Terence's death. As such, while I am truly sorry for the pain and the anguish suffered by the Wheelock family, it would not be appropriate for me to discuss these matters with them.
Question 120, Deputy.